So this is exactly how the AI Vision business card scanner works. You take a photo of the business card, and then you text it to yourself, then it sends that information over to OpenAI's Vision AI. It extracts all the contact information off of it. It also then goes and scrapes the website that's on the business card. Then it sends that information back into your high level. And then if you text a tag, we can also trigger Closebot or any other type of automations to fire once that information is sent over. Boom, shakalaka, welcome back to the Austin Automates YouTube channel. In this video, I'm gonna show you what I just went over, how the Vision AI business card scanner works. Imagine going to a networking event and being an absolute magician. You're sitting there talking to someone and you're asking them what they do and they ask you what you do and you're like, hey, I use AI to do all these automations, and you snap a photo of their business card and within a couple minutes, you could trigger your voice AI to call them. You could trigger your Closebot AI employee to send them a message. You could even send out a full-blown SEO webpage audit to their email, all from snapping a photo of their business card. Let's just dive right into how all this works and how to set this up. I'm super excited about this one. All right, so the first thing is what we're going to be building is you're going to take a photo of a business card, you're going to send it to yourself via SMS. AI is going to extract the name, the email, the phone number, the website, the company information. It's going to automatically add that contact to your high level account using an inbound webhook. And then it's going to add a contact tag based on what you actually put in quotes and send with the image. This can then trigger different workflows, and it's going to be super, super easy, super fun. So I'm not a coder. I'm what you call a vibe coder, and I'm learning. But the very first step of this process is you're going to want to set up a Replit account. Okay. This is what's called a backend server, where you're going to host your code that's going to be doing all of this cool stuff on the backend. So we're going to go to replit.com and you're going to sign up for a free account. They actually give you free credits, and it's going to be super easy, super cool. And then what we're going to do is we are going to copy. Let's actually take this. I'm going to change the color on this so that when you guys have it, let's make it blue because blue is cool. That way you know exactly what you need to copy. So I go over to Replit. This is what it looks like when you set up a Replit account. And what I'm going to do is you'll notice I go to apps and I have my business card scanners, but I'm going to start from scratch. And what I'm going to want to do is I am going to click on apps, and then I'm going to hit create an app, and you're going to want to select Python. And then we're going to want to keep it private. And let's just name this one Biz Card Scanner. I'm going to call it 3 because I've done this a couple of times. And then I'm going to hit create app. Now, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to, I'm going to keep the words very simple. I'm going to have to put in a little piece of code here to where it runs the webhook and it shows that it's running so that I can grab the URL, and we're going to need that inside of high level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to here and I'm going to copy this piece right here, and I'm going to go to copy, and I'm going to come back to here, and I'm just going to paste it, Command V, right inside of here, and then I'm going to hit run. And then you should see it pop up this preview, and it says, boom, webhook is running. That's what I needed to happen, because what I'm going to need now is I'm going to need this URL right here. And don't worry, for those of you that are like, oh, you're showing everybody your URL, I'm going to have this turned off by the time I go public with this video, so it won't really matter. So I'm going to need this URL. That's why I needed to run this, but a few other steps before I do that. So I'm going to go back over to my document, and you'll see click run, copy URL. I'm going to copy this because I'm going to need this for my outbound webhook that I'm going to create inside of high level. But before I do that, I need to download some things that I'm going to need inside of Replit to make all of this work. So in the shell tab of Replit, run the following install required packages. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm going to go back to Replit. And then I'm going to click this plus button, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to find the shell, and you'll see it looks like a terminal, command terminal. I'm going to command V, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to download the things that are required It's not downloading it onto your computer, it's downloading it here inside of your Replit server that is needed to actually run the code that's going to do the business card scanner, send things over to OpenAI, all that fun stuff. So now that everything is installed, you can actually close that shell, but we'll leave it open for the heck of it right now. Now let's go to the next step. When you install these packages, this will allow AI vision, API requests, and website scraping functionality for AI summaries to work. Now, the next step is I need to go to OpenAI and I need to grab my OpenAI API key. So we're going to leave Replit alone and I'm going to go to platform.openai.com accounts API keys. Now, you should be able to get to your account and then you're going to want to go to projects and then find API keys. And then you're going to want to create a secret API key. Name your API key and then save it to when it shows you your API key. Save it to a text file or don't email it to yourself, but just save it somewhere where you're going to be able to copy paste it later because I believe that once it shows you what your key is, you can't actually see it again. So copy it that first time, paste it somewhere that you can get to it because you're going to need it in the future. All right. So we went and we set up our OpenAI account. If you don't have an account, you have to create an account. It does have to be, I believe there's a free version, but then you need to get your API key. So follow the steps to actually get your API key. If you need more instructions on how that works and you're stuck there, just chat GPT it. Chat GPT is really good at teaching you how to use their platform. So step number 3 is I need to set up an outbound webhook in GHL. All right, so I need to create a new workflow and we'll call this business card scanner 3. I'm going to call this, I'm going to name it outbound webhook business card scanner 3 because I have multiple versions of this. So you could just do outbound webhook business card scanner. And then what I need to do is I need to set up a webhook. And then the trigger is going to be customer replied and reply channel is SMS and reply channel is SMS. And then we're going to hit save. And then I want to create my outbound webhook where it's going to be a post. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to go back to my Replit account and then that URL that I needed, if we go to preview, we click this little green button, dev URL, I'm going to hit copy and then I'm going to go back to my high level account and I'm going to hit paste there. And then let's go to the next step. And then I need to add custom data where the key is going to be image URL. Copy that and paste it. And the value is message.attachments. And we are going to hit save and save and publish, save, and we should be all good there. So that is now our outbound webhook, and that is all set up. So now we need to go back here, and now we need to set up an inbound webhook, which I think steps 4 and 5 are a little backwards. So we are going to first set up the inbound webhook because we need to then trigger it. So I'm going to now come here, create, start from scratch, and I'm going to say inbound webhook biz card scanner 3, save. And now we're going to do an inbound webhook. Okay, so right here, we need to stop because we need some information to actually come to this webhook so that we can actually fetch a sample of what we're wanting to capture. And since nothing's coming through to this webhook quite yet, we need to send something to it. So in order to do that, you need to use something called Postman. So step number 4, set up your Postman account. So we're gonna set up our Postman account. Wait a minute. I don't know if I'm allowed to sing that whole song, otherwise I'm gonna get like copywritten. I don't know. But we're gonna go to postman.com. It is free. And what we're gonna do is once you start a free account, what we're gonna do is send API request, and we are going to do post. Then we are going to take from our inbound webhook this post URL. We're going to hit this little copy thing over here. We're going to go back to Postman. We're going to paste it right here. I do not want that. I just want to paste, allow. Okay. And then the next step is we want to go to body and we want to click raw. And now we are going to copy this right here, this raw JSON, and I'm going to hit copy, and I'm going to go back to Postman, and I'm going to hit Command V, and now it's going to send a sample of what we're trying to collect off of the business card so that I can start mapping out where everything is inside of our webhook. So once I do that, then I'm going to hit send. And you should see this where it says success test request received. And so now I want to go back to my inbound webhook, and you should see, boom, request received, and I can hit this, and it's going to show me that the sample information that was sent over was collected, and I'm all good to go there. And so I'm going to hit save trigger. Then it's going to ask you to create a contact. Now, the fields that we need to create is we want to pull all of the information in the right spots that was being sent over from the business card that we take a photo of. So, first name, and what we want to do is click on custom values, inbound webhook trigger, and then first name, and then add field, last name, and then again, inbound webhook trigger, last name. Then we need to go email, inbound webhook trigger, email. Then we need to go phone, inbound webhook trigger, phone, business name, inbound webhook trigger, company. Then we need to go to, what is it, website. And we need to go here, and we need to go to website. Then we need to image tag. So if you do not have image tag, you are going to need to create a custom field. So if you need to pause right here and you need to add image tag, there are two custom fields that you need to add. We need to add image tag because webhook trigger, we're going to bring over a tag, and then you do need to also add the field that says AI summary. Some of you might have an AI summary already from Closebot. If you want it to be separate, make sure you create like AI summary business card scanner, and then make sure that this is then connected to that AI summary. So you do need to add image tag and AI summary as custom fields. So if you need to pause right here, make sure you hit save action because you have enough information in here to save it, then go back, go create those custom fields, and then come back and add image tag and then make sure that this is populated by that. Then we're going to hit save option, and boom, save. Now our inbound webhook is connected. Let's just go ahead and publish that. Confirm. Now we have our inbound webhook and we have our outbound webhook that is created. Now we need to go to the next step. Step number 6. So it went a little backwards, creating the image tag and AI summary. The AI summary does need to be multi-line, and the image tag can be a single line text. Now we need to create a workflow that assigns a tag from the image tag. So what happens is when I take a picture of the business card and I put in quotations a word, it's going to take that word and add that word as a contact or as a tag to that contact. Now, there's no way to actually do that via the inbound webhook, so I had to create a little bit of a workaround. So what we're going to do is create a new workflow inside of GHL. Inside of my folder, start from scratch, add tag to business card lead. Let's just say that. And we're going to do contact changed. Then we're going to do add filter. And then we are going to search for image tag, that custom field. And then we're just going to put has changed. And then I'm going to hit save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put add contact tag. And what we can do is dynamically add something dynamic. Let's search tag. And you could just copy this right here, copy, or go ahead and just search. You can just search tag. Oops. So you can open this up and then just search tag and then make sure it's the image tag. So whenever that contact tag is changed, it's going to add whatever is inside of that custom field dynamically based on the text message that you are sending. And I'm going to hit publish and save. This way, when I send an image, when I send a photo of a business card to someone and I text the word Closebot, what that's going to do is it's then going to trigger my Closebot to then respond. We'll get to that in the next workflow. So now that's all set up, I have my 3 workflows. Let's go back to the instructions. Step number 8, workflow to trigger Closebot from tag. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to set up my create a workflow, start from scratch, and I'm going to tag Closebot added, activate Closebot. So now I'm going to go tag contact tag added Closebot, and I'm going to hit save trigger. I do like to, let's do Closebot 1 just because I think Closebot might actually, let's do Closebot AI just because I might have already set that to something. So Closebot AI is the tag that's going to trigger add contact tag Closebot AI. Then we're going to hit save and then save. And then what I want to do is I want to send out my very first message that says SMS. So let's say I'm at a networking event. I can say, hey, contact first name. My name is Vila. I'm Austin's. Let's use I'm Lewis. The reason I'm gonna use Lewis is because that's my middle name and it's gonna pull my first name. I want to see what that looks like. I'm Lewis's AI assistant. It looks like you are talking to him right now. Have you ever considered using AI for your business? And then I'm going to hit save action. And so now there is going to be a message that goes out, a text message that goes out. I can hit publish on that. And then let's add, and then let's go back to workflow. Then because we're using Closebot, then we just need to have a Closebot processing workflow that contact created or create a workflow. Then we're going to do Closebot processing workflow. And then contact replied or customer replied, I'm sorry. Customer replied. Reply channel is SMS and tag is Closebot AI. Save. And then we are going to do our webhook to Closebot, where I can come to version 1. And I'm going to show you in the future trainings, I will have how to set this all up using version 2. But for now, let's go to help resources, help articles, and quick start and initial setup. And there's awesome Jeff. And then I'm going to come all the way down here and I'm going to grab the copy. And then I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to paste that there. So we know that we're sending this to Closebot. And then again, if you do want to specify which bot, we're going to do bot, go back to Closebot, 22857. We go 22857. Excellent. So we know which bot we're talking to. And then obviously before you go to any type of networking event, you'd want to prompt your bot to like whatever the objectives that it is sending. So I sent the very first objective was ask them if they have ever tell what we're going to do is we're going to do ask at lead name. What was our outbound message? Contact first name. My name is Viola. I'm Lewis's. It looks like you are talking to him right now. Have you ever considered using for your business? They're going to respond yes. And what we can do now, because we did the AI inside of the code, it's actually going to do an AI summary of their business. Let's try it this way. It's going to give information. Share with at lead name how our AI solutions can help their business using, and then I need to get that field, that AI summary. So let's go to settings. Let's go to custom fields. Let's go to AI summary, and I'm going to copy that. I don't know 100% if this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Asking the AI how our share with AI leader help their business using Command V. Give them 3 ideas on how an AI employee can help them. How can AI help? Close. Save. And then it should book a conversation. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together. Okay. So now I have all the pieces together and everything is set up. The next thing that you are going to need is this code here. Okay. So this code is the magic sauce behind everything that needs to happen that we're going to plug into. Replit here. We're going to replace this with the code. Now, what we do need to do is we need to insert our API key here, and then we need to insert our inbound webhook here. And so your GHL inbound webhook. So go back to your automations, business card scanner, build out, and then I'm going to go to inbound webhook. I need to grab that URL there, and I need to, is it my inbound or my outbound? Yep, you're going to put your GHL inbound webhook here, and then you're going to put your OpenAI API here. Make sure you do put them in between the quotation marks. That way you're all set. And I'm going to show you how you guys can just get access to this entire code so you don't have to have AI write that code for you and you can just plug and play that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here. And there I just pasted the entire code with my with my API, my OpenAI API key and my inbound webhook, and it says that everything is running great. And so the next step is going to be to test it. We have everything in place. And so what I'm going to want to do now is just make sure that all of my workflows are on. I do want my Closebot workflow published. Confirm. Do make sure that, and in order to test this, one thing that I did was I went on Canva and I just created a business card with my own contact information on it. All right, so make sure that you're not in your contact. Again, if you're testing this over and over again, you might have to delete your contact a couple of times. All right, so now I'm going to test it. I am going to text my high level number. I'm going to find the photo of my business card and let me find that. Hit select. And then in quotations, I'm going to add Closebot AI. So that should add the tag. And I'm going to text it to my high level number. And the cool thing is you should see it in the console pop up. Boom. Everything came in. The image URL came through. It extracted all of my contact information. It added closebot tag AI. And then if you actually go to high level, we should see that closebot tag was added. And then I just got a text message that says, "Hey Austin, my name is Vila. I'm Lewis's AI assistant. It looks like you're talking to him right now. Have you ever considered using AI for your business?" No, I have not. Now this is where Closebot will actually take over. And because it searched my website, it says AI can be a game changer for your business. It can handle missed calls, respond to website inquiries, and manage social media messages, ensuring you never miss a lead. Plus, it works 24/7, freeing up your team. That sounds awesome. Now, again, how you prompt and set up your closebot is going to depend on what steps it takes next. My closebot was set up to then book an appointment. So now it's actually trying to book an appointment. Great to hear. Would you be open to a quick 15-minute call to explore how AI can specifically benefit your business? We have some time slots. I'm going to ask, what do you know about my business? I know that Prospect Capo LLC is a business that helps other businesses set up AI automations. How do you currently manage your client and interactions? So it's going to then, I struggle to do that. Now I'm wondering if then it's going to go back and try and book the appointment again. Boom. So it goes right back. AI can definitely help streamline those interactions. Would you be available for a quick call? So it's obviously going through my calendar and trying to book that conversation. Now, if I go into my contact and we go down to AI summary, you can see that it scraped my website, prospectcapo.com, and Command V, and you can see that it did an AI summary, and so it basically was able to train Closebot how to respond. You could have an AI summary text message to you could set up this code itself to then have people send you some options on how to pitch to them. It really is once you have all this core set up and you're able to just snap a photo of a business card, add a tag, you really can have a lot of different things happen. And we're seeing now that It's able to have a conversation, Closebot, and it all started simply because I took a photo of the business card and set up some automations. And again, there's some of you out there that will probably think of some crazy other things that you can do to this. One of the things I did have it doing was I would send this information over to an app called My Web Audit. It would do a complete SEO AI website audit and then send them automatically a PDF of the web audit. So that is step by step how to set up your very own AI image business card scanner that could trigger all kinds of automations inside of High Level. It's absolutely crazy. And I know some of you are thinking, okay, but where do I get like the big piece of code from? You have two options. You can either download the transcript of this YouTube and go to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you follow the steps and then write me the exact code I need to have all of this happen? It would be very simple to do it that way. Or you can jump into my community called GHL Blueprint. Go here to the classroom, and it's right here called AI Business Card Scanner. Inside of here, I will do this video will be here so you can rewatch the instructions on how to set everything up. You will also get the step-by-step SOP on how to set everything up by yourself. And then you will also get access to the entire code so that you don't have to duplicate it for yourself. Like I said, it's right here inside of GHL Blueprint and this section AI Business Card Scanner. So that's it. That's step by step how to create your very own AI powered business card scanner. And I know some of you are already thinking like there's so many other cool things you could do with this. I do have plans to customize the code a little bit and have it enrich the data even further, pulling in from different APIs. It's going to be such a fun project. The reason I did create this was I do have a group called GHL Agency Blueprint. This is a paid community, and inside of the paid community, I have a part where getting clients where I teach prospecting. I have my course on networking, and I wanted to add something for my students when it came to networking to make them look like an absolute magician. I've created a couple other tools. Some of you have seen the lead scraper, and I really want to make prospecting and networking and everything much more simple, much more easy. And I think it's super cool if you have tools that make life easier, make prospecting, networking, and all of that so much simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was a little bit longer than my traditional ones, but that's step by step everything. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in future trainings.